in Sukhasana. So just sitting in our cross-legged pose, sitting up nice and tall, and focusing on breathing. So we're doing our Honed Warrior class this morning, which means there's going to be quite a lot of repetition in our practice today. And that means you've got a chance to come back and try out poses the second, the third, and sometimes the fourth or a fifth time. Just getting the skill of the pose as you come into it a couple of times. But for now, just focusing on breath. So just focusing on taking more air into the body every time you inhale. And obviously releasing more air out of the body every time you exhale. Starting to slow the breath down. And then activating the bandha at the navel to help you complete your exhales. So to help squeeze all of the air out of the body, you're putting your navel towards the spine and also pulling up a little bit. And then on the inhale, just releasing. And exhale, pulling up, pulling in. Then activating the second bandha at the throat. And that's activated on the inhale and the exhale. And basically, you're just tightening the muscles around the windpipe, forcing the breath to slow down. There is a third bandha in the body as well, and that's at the root chakra, kind of where the perineum is. It's called Mula Bandha. And I want you to also start thinking about activating. So there's a lifting up. You've got a triangle of muscles supporting your internal organs underneath you. So think of lifting all the way up from your tailbone as well. There's a lot of pulling up towards your lungs. And keeping everything nice and active, we're just going to come into a very gentle twist to the right, looking over our right shoulder and holding for 2 more breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. And coming out of the twist, going over to the left side. Once again, just 2 breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Coming out of the twist and just walking all the way forward. So just stretching into the back of your hips. Head comes down towards the mat and we're holding 3 breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, last breath, and exhale. Making your way through tabletop pose and all the way back to downward facing dog. So just stretching the hips back into your dog pose. Checking in with how the body feels. And starting to walk your hands back to your feet. And when you get back to your feet, grabbing hold of opposite elbows and letting your head just hang in that box you've created. And we're holding 3 more breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, last breath, and exhale. Release your hands onto the mat and walk your way back out to downward facing dog. Take a big inhale, stretching the hips up to the sky. And exhale both feet to the front of the mat. Arms Reach up on the inhale, hands to pray on the exhale. You're going to set your intention for the class. You can make it whatever you want. Keep it positive, keep it short, keep it present. We reach up as we inhale, looking to the sky, and exhale, looking down to the earth. Inhale, looking in front, and exhale, looking behind us as we step back and come down onto bellies. Inhaling to cobra and exhaling back to downward facing dog. And in downward facing dog, see if you can get your heels to stretch back towards the mat. They don't have to touch the mat, but the intention, the energy is moving. Heels towards the mat. Take a big inhale and exhale both feet to the front of your mat. Reach up as you inhale and release to the earth as you exhale. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, step back to plank. Come down to your belly. Inhale, cobra, and exhale back, downward facing dog. And again in dog, see if you can work those heels down towards the mat. Take a deep inhale and exhale both feet to the front of your mat. Reach up on the inhale and dive forward. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen, look up. Exhale, step back to plank. Come down to your belly. Inhale, cobra, and exhale back, downward facing dog. So from downward facing dog, I want you to come forward into plank pose, shoulders above wrists. And then one arm at a time, you're going to come into forearm plank. So walk your way down onto forearms. And then you're going to climb back up to plank pose, one arm at a time. And just press your hips back to downward facing dog. And we're going to repeat that. So we're coming forward to plank pose, one arm at a time, coming to forearm plank. One arm at a time, coming back up to plank pose. And once again, coming down to forearm plank, one arm at a time. And again, climbing up to plank pose. And then pressing our hips back to downward facing dog. So be mindful of shoulders. We are going to repeat that one more time. This time it will be 3 times down and up. So let's come forward to our plank. And one elbow at a time coming onto the mat, forearm plank. One arm at a time climbing back up to plank pose. And then repeating it for a second time. So one elbow at a time dropping down. One arm at a time coming back up. And last time, one elbow at a time coming down. One arm at a time climbing up to plank pose and pressing back to downward facing dog. And we're holding dog, strong arms, strong legs, 3 breaths. See if you can get those heels reaching back towards the mat. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last breath and exhale. Walk your hands all the way back to your feet. Stay in Uttanasana. Stay in your forward fold. Just interlace your hands behind your back and pull your wrists forward, stretching into shoulders. And we're holding 5 breaths. It should feel good. Inhale. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last breath. And exhale, release your hands onto the mat and walk yourselves back out to downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale in dog, stretching the heels down towards the mat. And exhale both feet to the front of the mat. And you're going to roll up one vertebra at a time, coming all the way up to stand. Shoulders finally come above hips, arms reach up on the inhale, and hands to pray on the exhale. And we sit our hips down nice and low into Utkatasana, reaching out as we inhale, diving forward as we exhale. Inhale, lengthen, look up. Exhale, step back to plank pose, come down to your belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Right leg steps up. Between the hands, left heel drops, arms reach up, warrior one as we inhale. And exhale, fold forward. Step back to plank pose. Come down to your belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. And left foot just steps straight up into warrior one. Right heel drops, arms reach up on the inhale. And exhale, fold forward, step back to plank. Come down to your belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. So that was a Surya Namaskar B. And we're going to do two more of those. Take a deep inhale. Exhale both feet to the front of the mat. Reach your arms up on your inhale, hands to pray. On the exhale, Utkatasana, sitting down. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step back to plank pose. Come down to your belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Right foot steps up, Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1, arms reach up on our inhale, and we exhale, fold forward, step back to plank, come down to the belly, inhale, cobra, exhale, back, downward facing dog. Left leg steps between the hands, right heel presses down, arms reach up, warrior 1, inhale, fold forward on the exhale, step back to plank, come down to your belly. Inhale, cobra, exhale, back, downward facing dog. Take a deep inhale, exhale both feet to the front of the mat. Reach up on your inhale, hands to pray on the exhale. Utkatasana, inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step back to plank. Come down to your belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. And once again, Virabhadrasana 1, right leg steps forward. Reach up on your inhale. Fold forward on the exhale, stepping back to plank, coming down to your belly. Inhale, cobra, and exhale back, downward facing dog. Left foot steps up between the hands, right heel drops, arms reach up. Inhale, and exhale both hands onto the mat. Step back to plank, come down to your belly. Inhale, exhale back, downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, I want you to shorten your dog a little bit. So step both feet a little bit closer to your hands. I want you to reach your right hand underneath you and you're looking for your left outer ankle, right hand to the outside of the left ankle. And see if you can kind of pull that right shoulder underneath the left shoulder as you twist, looking underneath your armpit on the left side. So keep reaching back. We're holding 3 more breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, last breath, and exhale, come back to downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up, 3-legged dog, and step into warrior 1. So step your right foot up between the hands, left heel drops, arms reach up on the inhale. Take both hands behind your back, interlace your fingers as you exhale, pulling your wrists down towards that back heel. Inhale, open the heart and look up, and exhale, fold forward, taking your right shoulder on top of your right knee, pulling your hands above the head. So take the arms all the way towards the front of the space, stretching into shoulders. And we're holding humble warrior 5 breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, last breath, and exhale. Come back up, warrior 1, arms reach up on the inhale, exhale, both hands onto the mat, step back to plank pose, come down to your belly, inhale cobra, exhale back, downward facing dog. So we're going to move to that awkward downward facing dog on the other side. Shorten your dog a little bit, and it's the left hand reaching underneath you for the right ankle. Left hand on the outside of the right ankle. And we're twisting and holding. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Come back to your dog. Left leg lifts and steps into warrior 1. Right heel drops to the mat, arms reach up, inhale, and we're moving to humble warrior on the exhale. Hands interlaced behind the back. We inhale, looking for that back bend, and then exhale, folding forward. Left elbow on top of left knee, head dropping down towards the floor. 5 breaths. Make sure you're dropping your right shoulder as well, so there's no twist in the shoulders. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, last breath, and exhale. Come back up, warrior 1, and exhale, both hands onto the mat. Step back to plank pose. Come down to your belly. Inhale, cobra, and exhale back, downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, bring your feet together so your feet are touching. You're going to roll to the outside edge of your right foot. Left arm reaches up, so we're in Vasisthasana, side plank. So all the weight is on the right side of the body, right arm supports right leg is nice and straight, or you can drop onto your knee. Left arm reaching up for the sky. 3 more breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Last breath. And exhale, bring your left hand onto the mat, step back to plank, come down to your belly. Inhale, cobra, exhale back, downward facing dog. And it's the right leg lifting up, three-legged dog, and stepping into warrior one. Arms reach up on the inhale. Hands go behind the back on the exhale. Interlace. Inhale, look for the back bend. And exhale, fold forward, squeezing all of the air out of the body. When there's no air left in the body, come back up. Warrior one on the inhale. And open out wide. Warrior two on your exhale. And we're sitting down nice and low in our hips in warrior two, holding for 5 more breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, last breath, and exhale. Inhale, reverse your warrior, and exhale, take both hands onto the mat. Step back to plank, come down to your belly. Inhale, cobra, exhale back, downward facing dog. Once again, take your feet together. We're rolling to the left side for Vasisthasana. Right arm reaches up and we're holding. Left knee can come down if you want. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, last breath, and exhale. Nice work. Bring that right hand down. You're back in plank pose. Come down to your belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. And it's the left foot stepping up into warrior one. Arms reach up on the inhale. Exhale, take both hands behind the back, interlace. Inhale, look for that back bend. And exhale, squeeze all of that air out of the body as you come into humble warrior. Then inhale, back up, warrior one. And exhale, open out to the side, warrior two. 5 breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, last breath, and exhale. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, take both hands to the mat, step back to plank pose, come down to your belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. In downward facing dog, I want you to take your right foot a little bit closer to the left foot. So the left foot kind of stays where it is, right foot moves in closer. Then take your left hand and reach it behind your back, resting your left hand on your back body. So kind of coming into Ardha Gomukhasana. Strong right leg, strong right arm. Start to float the left leg off the mat, or play with the idea of lifting the left leg up. 3 more breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, last breath, and exhale. Come back to downward facing dog and step your right foot between your hands. Come up, warrior one as you inhale. Hands go behind the back as you exhale. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, we're coming back to that humble warrior. Inhaling, coming up, warrior one. Exhaling, opening out, warrior two. Straighten your front right leg and reach forward with the right hand, coming up into our triangle pose. So left arm is reaching into the sky, shoulders are stacked, hips are stacked. 5 breaths in triangle. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last breath and exhale. Come back to warrior 2 as you inhale and exhale. Take both hands onto the mat. Step back to plank pose. Come down to your belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. So setting up for that balancing dog on the other side. Left foot comes a little bit more to the center of the mat. And it's your right hand resting on the lower back. Left arm is strong. And you're playing with the idea of lifting the right leg off the mat. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Come back, downward facing dog. And we're stepping left foot up into warrior 1. So just step up into warrior 1. Arms reach up as you inhale. And exhale, hands go behind the back. Interlace, stretch, look for the back bend as you inhale. Fold forward, humble warrior on your exhale. Inhale, come up, warrior 1. And exhale, open out wide, warrior 2. Then setting up for triangle pose. Left leg straightens, reach forward, left hand rests on your left shin. Right arm reaches up to the sky. So you're in triangle pose and we're holding triangle 5 breaths. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last breath and exhale. Come back, warrior 2 on your inhale and exhale both hands onto the mat. Step back to plank pose. Come down to your belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Moving back to the right side, right leg lifts up, 3-legged dog. I want you to bend your right knee and touch your right upper arm. Then press back, 3-legged dog, and bend the right knee, swinging it underneath you, touching the left upper arm. Press back, 3-legged dog, and pull forward, touching the right upper arm. Press back, 3-legged dog, and we're swinging underneath us to the left side again. Then press back, 3-legged dog, and we're stepping into warrior 1. Arms reach up as we inhale, coming back to the humble warriors. Just taking hands behind the back on the exhale, back bending, folding forward, exhale. Inhale, coming back up, warrior 1. Opening out nice and wide, warrior 2. Saying hello to triangle, front leg straightens, reaching back. And then finding our reverse warrior, front leg bends and reaching all the way back. I want you to straighten the front leg again. So you're in reverse triangle pose. And we're holding 5 breaths. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, last breath, and exhale. Come back, warrior two. Take that right hand to the mat on the inside of the right leg. Left arm reaches to the sky. So right leg is bent, we in side angle pose. 5 breaths. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last breath and exhale. Come back up, warrior two. And then I want you to look in front of your right foot. You're going to plant your right hand on the floor in front and then shift your weight forward. Back leg lifts up and we're holding half moon for 5 breaths. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last breath and exhale, dropping back. Warrior two. Yes, pose. Take an inhale and exhale both hands onto the mat. Step back to plank pose. Come down to your belly. Inhale, cobra. Exhale back, downward facing dog. And coming into three-legged dog on the left side. Left leg lifts up. You're going to bend that left knee and touch your left upper arm. Press back, three-legged dog. And bend the knee, swinging it underneath you to the right upper arm. Press back, pull forward, touching left upper arm. And then inhale back to three-legged dog and exhale, swinging underneath you to the right side. Press back and step up into warrior one. Arms reach up on the inhale and hands go behind the back on the exhale. And we're inhaling, back bending, exhaling, humble warrior. Inhale, come back up, warrior one. And exhale, open out wide, warrior two. Straighten that front left leg coming into triangle pose just for a brief hello. And then reverse your warrior as you exhale, coming all the way back. Then straighten the front leg so we find ourselves in reverse triangle. 5 breaths. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last breath and exhale. Come back to warrior two. So rebend the left leg. Take your left hand onto the floor on the inside of your left foot and right arm reaches to the sky. So you are in side angle pose. Left leg is bent. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last breath and exhale. Come back up to warrior two and then take a look just in front of your left foot. You're going to take your left hand onto the mat and then bring all the weight into your left leg as you float your right arm and right leg up to the sky. So you're stacking shoulders, stacking your right hip on top of your left. 5 more breaths. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Last breath. And exhale, stepping back, warrior two. Take an inhale and exhale everything onto the mat. Step back to plank pose. Come down to your belly. Inhale to cobra. Exhale back. Downward facing dog or child's pose and holding 5 breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, last breath, and exhale. Last bit of hard work. Right leg lifts up, three-legged dog, and I want you to bend that right knee coming into scorpion's tail. So lifting your knee up as high as you can, stacking that right hip on top of the left hip. You can stay as you are in your scorpion's tail, or you can take that right foot and drop it all the way onto the left side of the space, taking your right arm up to the sky. So you're in wild thing. Left leg is straight, right leg you're on your tippy toes, right leg is bent. And 2 more breaths here. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Come back. So flip yourself back to downward facing dog and moving to the left side. Left leg lifts up, three-legged dog. Bend that left leg and come to scorpion's tail. So lifting your knee up as high as you can. By opening up the hips, you're going to get that knee to come up even higher. You can stay in scorpion or drop into wild thing. So dropping your foot over to the right side of the space. Left arm reaches to the sky. Beautiful. 2 more breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Come back, downward facing dog. We're coming to pigeon pose, so just take your right knee towards your right elbow onto the floor, your foot over to the left side, and then start to lower your hips down towards the floor. So if you remember, right at the beginning of the class, I spoke about Mula Bandha, the bandha at the root chakra. I want you to really work into that bandha by pulling up, pulling up, pulling up, so that you can bring your hands into prayer in front of the chest. So you are really lifting up, and we're holding 2 more breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale, and release. And now you can come and rest all the way down on your belly. So as you're resting on the belly, you're stretching into that right hip. Make sure you're pressing your left hip point down. So don't roll to the right. Make sure you're pulling the left hip down towards the right foot. And we're holding 5 breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, last breath, and exhale. So hook your back toes and pull that left knee a little bit closer, rehook, and then press yourselves back to downward facing dog. And we're going to come to the other side. So this time we're moving into pigeon pose with the left knee coming towards the left wrist and the foot going towards the right side, releasing that right leg back and down. Then pressing and lifting Mula Bandha. So there's a lifting up from the base of the spine, taking your hands into prayer pose, and we're holding 3 breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, last breath, and exhale, and you can release and fold forward. This time it's the right hip that you're trying to press down towards the mat, so you're balancing the hips out. And just surrendering for 5 breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, last breath, and exhale. You can climb back up onto both hands, taking weight into your arms. Hook your right toes, pull that right knee a little bit closer, then rehook the right toes and press back to downward facing dog. And it's the last dog of class, and we're here for 3 more breaths. Strong arms, strong legs. Try and get those heels reaching back towards the mat. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, last breath, and exhale. And you can release down onto your knees, cross your shins, roll onto sit bones, and come straight into Sukhasana. So coming back into that easy cross-legged pose. Make sure that your right shin is kind of parallel to the front of your mat. So you should be facing the front of your mat. So shin is parallel to the short edge of the mat. And then just take your left foot back next to your left hip. And then shuffle the sit bones so that you've got both sit bones pressing back down into the mat. And we're going to come into a twist. Right arm supports, left arm crosses onto the right knee, and we're twisting, looking over our right shoulder. And we're just holding 5 breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale, and come out of the twist. Take both hands onto the floor behind you and come down onto forearms. So coming all the way down onto forearms, or all the way down onto your back. So we're stretching into the quad of the left leg. And we're here for 5 more breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, last breath, and exhale. Coming back up to neutral and back into Sukhasana, so back into easy pose. Moving to the left side, getting that left shin parallel with the front of your mat, taking your right foot next to your right hip, and we twist into the left arm supports, right arm crosses. Make sure the right sitting bone hasn't lifted up, that you're still pressing down, twisting from your Mula Bandha. And we're holding. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, last breath, and exhale. Coming out of your twist, both arms walking behind you, starting to climb down onto forearms, and we're stretching into that right quadricep now. You can come all the way down onto your back if you're flexible enough, and we're holding 5 more breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, last breath, and exhale, coming back up to neutral and straight into Baddha Konasana. So just taking the soles of the feet together. So setting up like you would for normal Baddha Konasana, feet are pressing together, heels are pulled in close to the groin. We're going to twist. So you're taking your right hand behind you for support, left hand onto your right knee, and we're twisting, looking over our right shoulder. 5 breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, last breath, and exhale. Coming out of the twist, moving to the other side. So left arm supports, right arm crosses, you're looking over your left shoulder. 5 more breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, last breath, and exhale. Coming out of the twist, holding onto your feet and folding forward. So moving the pelvis forward, chest comes forward. At some point, your body is going to say that's as far as you're going, and that's when you release the head down. 5 breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, last breath, and exhale. Coming all the way back up to neutral. And we're going to come onto our side body. So I want you to lie down on your right side, taking your right hand underneath your head and trying to get that right armpit onto the floor. So you should be feeling a stretch in the right armpit. Left arm, left hand just rests in front of the chest. You're going to bend your left leg coming into tree pose. So planting that left foot on the inside of the right thigh. See if you can pull your bottom in. So often what happens when you pull that left leg up, the bottom kind of sticks out behind you. So try and keep a nice straight line from shoulders through hips down to the ankle. Once you find your balance, you can lift that left knee up and hook your left big toes. And then we just straighten that leg up to the sky. And again, you've got that same sort of thing. The bottom wants to stick out. Keep pulling your bottom in. So you're not sticking the bottom out. Keep pulling it in, holding on to your big toe. And 2 more breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath. And exhale. And you can release and roll onto your other side. So you're going to be lying on your left side, left hand supports the head, and just focus in the beginning on trying to get that left armpit. So you're stretching into the armpit, trying to get that left armpit onto the mat. Legs are straight. Now take the right leg and just rest it on the inside. So it's almost as if you're in tree pose on your side body. Check that you haven't stuck your bottom out. So pull the bottom in line with the shoulders. And then if you feel quite comfortable, you can reach down, hook your big toe and straighten that leg up to the sky. And that's where your bottom wants to stick out. I know it's quite hard to keep pulling it in. Wherever you are, we're going to be holding 3 more breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, last breath, and exhale. And you can release and roll onto your backs. Just take both knees into the chest, Uttanasana. Squeeze them in. Reset the spine. Compress the hips, so squeeze quite a lot, creating compression in the lower belly. Very, very good for the digestive tract. And we have 2 more breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, and exhale. Open the arms out wide to the side and just drop both of your knees over to the right side. Try and keep the left shoulder pressing into the mat, and you can turn to look towards your left fingers. And we here for 5 breaths. So just a gentle spinal twist, 5 breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, last breath, and exhale. And take both knees back to center and drop them over to the other side. So just drop over to the left side and turn to look towards the right hand. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, last breath, and exhale, and come back to center with the knees. Drop your feet onto the mat, bring the soles of the feet together, knees drop open. We're in Supta Baddha Konasana, setting up for pranayama. One hand resting on the belly, one hand resting on the chest. So while we're doing our breathing exercise, we have been working a little bit with Mula Bandha today. When you hold your breath, if you want to, you can activate Mula Bandha, so you can pull that lock at the perineum up a little bit as well when you hold your breath. We're going to inhale 4, 3, 2, 1, hold 4, 3, 2, 1, exhale 4, 3, 2, 1, hold 4, 3, 2, 1, inhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, exhale 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and hold 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. Once you find your natural breath, pull both knees together, take them into your chest, lift your head up, touch your forehead to your knees, and surrender your body to your mat. So just release down to Shavasana, eyes are gently closed. Awareness is on the breath. So just recognizing cool air as you inhale and warm air as you exhale. Allowing your breath to expand just a little bit more. Inhaling longer, exhaling a little bit more. Allowing your breath to expand your lungs and your belly. And releasing the breath once you can't inhale anymore. Let your body relax just a little bit deeper. I want you just to observe yourself. I want you to imagine in your mind that you've raised your hand out in front of you. You're reaching out through your fingers as if you're trying to grab on and hold on to something. I want you to think of things that are happening in your life right now that you're trying to control, that you're trying to manage, that you're trying to make perfect. And if you feel pain and tension in that control, I want you to imagine that those things you're trying to control are like little marbles that get placed in your hand. One by one, lots of little marbles are all being put into that outstretched hand. Maybe it's your schedule, maybe it's all the things going on in the world right now. Maybe it's someone else's behavior or attitude that you're trying to change. Maybe it's your job. Maybe it's the amount of work you get done. Or maybe it's got to do with the amount of money coming in. Whatever those things are, just identify them. Identify each one as a little marble and watch them being placed in that outstretched hand of yours. Then notice your natural tendency is to close your hand around those marbles and to try and hold on to them and prevent them from falling out of your hand. You squeeze those marbles in your hand. Feel the tension and even the pain experienced in your hand as you squeeze those marbles. We're going to take a couple of deep breaths in now, and we're going to start to release and surrender. I want you to take a really deep inhale, breathing in love and feeling it fill your body. And as you breathe out, I want you to release those marbles out of your hand. Take another deep breath in, breathing in compassion, letting it fill you up. And on your exhale, releasing tension in the hand again. Letting go of that tight grip. Take a last deep inhale, breathing in grace and understanding for yourself. And as you exhale, releasing the last of the tension and the last of those marbles. Your hand is now empty. Just let it stop. Notice how your heartbeat has slowed, how your breathing has slowed, and just release in Shavasana. You are here. You're doing the best job that you possibly can right now. You are full of love, full of kindness, and full of compassion. Just surrender to this moment. Surrender to what is. Just surrender control. We're going to start to bring movement back into our bodies, starting with fingers and toes, wrists and ankles, taking both knees into the chest, and gently just dropping them over to the right side, allowing eyes to be open. Awareness is still on the breath. Take a last deep inhale and exhale, coming all the way up to seated. And we're going to come into our final pose, which is always Padmasana. Always left foot pulling in, right foot resting, or starting to lift up onto that left side, followed by the left leg coming up. Both hands pressed together into Anjali Mudra. We lift and touch our foreheads, reminding us to have clear, loving intentions. Hands to hearts, reminding us to have clear and loving intentions again. Hands to mouths, reminding us to have clear and loving words. Namaste. And thank you for practicing. I hope you enjoyed our repetitive class with Humble Warrior.